Aloha, dear hearts. I'm walking through the Norfolk Forest here to get to another part of our property where I'm going to sit and we're going to talk about knowing rather than thinking or believing. So, here we go. It's a little trail. This is where we used to have some neighbors over here, and they were quite loud and rowdy and kind of I think they were hoarders, and they really trashed the place a lot, and they finally left, and we bought the property to have it as a cushion, so no real close neighbors would be there, and you wouldn't believe the mess they left. But my partner was just so into having that property, and we got it really cheap because it was just a wreck, and he cleaned it all up. And it's so beautiful now. And we just kind of leave it to where it's going to be what it is. He's kind of a gardener, so, you know, he planted all these trees, and he keeps it nice over there. But I'm going to sit on the hill, get my chair. Bear with me. Look at the green grass. We just had a rain last night, and everything's just wet, fresh. And there it is. It's kind of in a gully or valley. Really beautiful. I want to get to where you can see. Well, while I visit with you. Okay, now I'm seated. So this video is about knowing rather than thinking or even believing. How to tell the difference. The thing is, we've all had experiences in just knowing something. It didn't have anything to do with the mind. It didn't really have anything to do with belief. It was just something that struck us, and we just knew it. Maybe it was meeting your beloved. Maybe it was having asked God a question and getting an answer. And you just knew that was the answer from God. We've all experienced this, and it didn't have anything to do with thinking or believing. It could have even gone against all your belief system. And it was just knowing. You know, in the Bible it says to know like over 8,000 times. And the most popular one is, be still and know I'm God. It also says to know I'm in you and you are in me. Well, that kind of wraps it up into the mighty one. So the practice, per se, is to recall all the many times, or a few times, that you just knew something. It just clicked. It just made your heart open wide to this knowing. Or maybe it's remembering. Maybe that's what it's all about, is remembering. And it might even come to the point where you're wondering, who is it that's remembering? Because it seems like we really never forgot. But there's this story going on that something in us forgot and is going through this marvelous story of trying to remember, wanting to know what's real, what is reality, what is the truth. And then these things, they just happen. I know when I met my partner, it just triggered. It was like something switched on inside of me that seemed to be dying. I mean, I was in my 50s. I thought it was all over, you know. And we met out of the blue. It was like I wasn't even wanting a relationship. I was just going to grow old gracefully. And there it was, you know, you turn a corner and something just out of the blue triggers this knowing. Somehow I knew he was the one. I knew I'd never really been in love before. Out of all those years, all those men, everything I'd been through with men, it seemed to just all be a practice leading up to this one. And then many years before that, I was on Maui, and I just dropped out of society and sat on a beach on the island of Maui, and I told God, I demanded, I wanted to know the simple truth. Everything just seemed so complicated, but I wanted the one simple truth. And I said, if there's a God, you're just going to have to take care of me here on this beach and bring it to me. I've read all these books. I've been after it, not finding it. And at the time, I'd already kind of chalked off the Bible, Christianity. That was too complicated, too demanding. You know, I'd already decided, that's not it. And there I was on the beach for a whole month. Food came to me, things just came to me, but I was waiting for this answer. What is the simple, ultimate truth? And I had the faith that there was a God and he was going to bring me that answer. So, after a month, and you know, it was wonderful. I had the beach right there, the ocean. I had the faith. I had a little tent. I just stayed there. And one day, a fella came along and asked if he could just come into my little camp area and visit. And I was going to say no, right away, but something in me said, say yes. Just say yes. I said, okay. So he came in, and as soon as he started to talk, I felt this love come into my heart that I'd never felt before. It was totally unconditional. And I knew it was not from this man. It was from some spirit that was moving through this man. And he started telling me that he was a missionary, a Christian missionary, and he was asking God, or God was asking him to go and find a disciple, a new disciple. And he said that God directed him, Jesus directed him to the beach and directly to me. Like, what? I mean, it was undeniable. This whole answer was the ultimate simple truth is unconditional love. And I felt it. I knew it. It was in my heart. I opened wide. I even said to myself, let this encompass me, never leave, ever, ever. And a little voice said, it's yours. It'll never, ever leave you. So that was pretty amazing. And the story goes on. I became a missionary for 14 years. And there I was, in the midst of something that my belief system wasn't even accepting. I mean, I'm not a missionary now. And I'm still a great follower of Jesus. I knew it was Jesus. I knew it. Because he even said it was Jesus that sent me here. And I believed that. Not only believed it, I knew it. So the practice is remembering these times where you just knew something and go back and relive it. Capture it again. Let it capture you again. And sit with it. And let it strengthen you. And see the difference in knowing rather than thinking or even believing. So that's it. That should be heartwarming. Go back. I mean, you may be divorced, you may, that beloved was just for a short time and then you moved on. But that moment, it's still there when you knew we're supposed to be together. Forever, how long, but you knew it. So, know thyself. And just keep going. Keep knowing, even if it's just one thing that you know without a doubt. Just keep knowing it. I love you all. And of course, I wish you fabulous, wonderful, knowing life. Aloha.